again. Welcome to our channel. So I'm Amy Kong. So today it's a pleasure to have invited the champion of the creative writing competition poem division, Farron. Congratulations. Okay, so this is the certificate first. Okay, congratulations for winning the champion. Okay, of your poem. So I would like to really ask you to read the poem for all the audiences here. But before you do so, I would like to really ask you a few questions about the theme of the poem first.
Okay, sure.
So can you briefly introduce the theme of the poem? The poem. What is the name first? What is the title? And then what is the theme here?
Okay, sure. My poem is the title of my poem is A Great Web. So the theme of the poem is that there are many things that we take for granted, but we actually should be really grateful for. Those are the things that make our lives now that are possible, and also that for us to be grateful, we really should pay effort into finding out who we should contribute our gratefulness for.
Okay.
Even though maybe we can never be able to fully know who was responsible or who contributed to our life now.
Okay. So it's like to be grateful for who contribute to the achievements we have now. Okay.
Yes.
And also but it could also mean our limit. We are sometimes we are not able to really find out the origin of the achievements. Can I say so? Okay, a very very interesting theme. But then to be honest, I've actually read your poem, and I just actually could see the description of the formation of the spider web. So that's why we have the title A Great Web here. So so maybe so you can actually read the poem first before I really ask you what is the symbolic meaning of the spider web in the poem. So could you please actually read the poem first for us?
A great web. A giant web that envelops an entire tree, which hundreds of spiders weave. Miraculous feat without a doubt, I believe. But the clouded sky clouds as much my mind, to credit the spiders for what they now achieve. Tell which wheel each single spider home. Show each thread which spider it is from. How many noiseless patient spiders weaved this sea of filament? Which spider was the one that sparked the feat? Such answers. Lost to the past, it could still haunt us and then relieve us. Lost to our blindness, sometimes willful, then we can never know. To the finest I attempt to see, the enlightenment lies beyond the horizon of what I perceive. To the greatest command I give, only the web will receive. To the grateful homage I salute, shall vibrate through the pale silk. Still, will not reach a single spider.
Okay, that's really great. Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot, Farron. So I realized, as I mentioned, the whole poem seems to me is actually a description of the formation of the spider web. So is there any special symbolic meaning of using the spider web?
So when I wrote this poem, I tried to symbolize the spider web to some of the great achievements that we've had today that require a lot of cooperative effort. So, for example, now the electric products that we have been through a lot of phases of development and through a lot of people's effort.
Yeah, that's true.
And also, a lot of the constructions that we have today have to be built by a lot of the workers. And that would be, so these things that require a lot of effort and a lot of people is what I would try to symbolize with the
Okay.
spider web.
So it's like forming a spider web, right?
Yes.
So like it's a very it's a long process. It takes a lot of time, and probably involves a lot of spiders as well.
Yes.
Yeah, am I right to say so? Yes.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Okay.
Actually, particularly this idea of using a spider web to symbolize these kind of achievements is inspired by I think it was from Australia. There was a news about there was a tree in Australia that was covered by a very very large spider web,
Okay.
which was weaved by almost thousands of spiders.
Wow.
But
I
as we
didn't
know,
know that.
spiders are usually weave their nets individually,
Yeah.
but they come together to weave a very
Very-
very large web that covers an entire tree.
Okay, so that's why you use the word great giant web.
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I didn't notice there's such a symbolic meaning behind. Okay, so it's like very like it takes a long time and involves a lot of spiders, a lot of people working together to actually achieve the goal, right?
Yes.
That's good. I particularly want to ask, however, from the second stanza to the third one, which spider was the one that sparked the feat? And such answers lost to the past, you could still haunt us, and then relieve us. So, why did you actually write that line? Such answers lost to the past. Is there any meaning behind?
So looking back at a lot of the what we would consider as great achievements, sometimes it would be obvious to us that a single person has changed an idea and then made it into fruit. For example, for Apple products, I think we all associate the success of Apple products to Steve Jobs. And some of that we could easily identify a single individual that have sparked all this greatness. But some of the times we recognize the contributors as a group of people, and sometimes we don't even know at all.
Okay.
So, for example, for light bulbs, most of us know that Edison was
Yeah.
the one who invented a light bulb.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
it's actually not that he invented the concept of a light bulb, but he invented a way for light bulbs to be lighted for a long time and for the wire to be a lot more durable. And to the light bulbs that we have now, actually we now have LED, but in earlier times to the actual durable light bulbs, it went through a lot more phases of development, and many people have been working on the light bulb and try to improve it.
Yeah.
But most of the times when we talk about who made the light bulb, we talk about the most famous person, but not those people who have been working hard on making it a better product. And that I think that applies to many other industries or different gadgets and products we have today. So yeah, so sometimes it's hard for us to recognize who actually contributed to these successes. And for Lost to the Past, and it could still haunt us, what I was trying to say was that for example, for it to happen before, for things that happened before, we would have to track down a lot of things for us to know what have actually happened and who have actually contributed to it. But a lot of the times it is a very difficult and very convoluted process. And not every time that we would successfully identify what kinds of people have been working on the project or on the constructions. And which is why I think for things that are properly documented, we can certainly try our best to make our way to understanding who was behind this great feat. But for the things that, for example, are unfortunately not documented or not even remembered, then we would really have no way to understand what have happened.
That's true. So that's why you say these answers actually could still haunt us, right? Because like we really want to know the answer, but there's no way for us to really, find out, who actually, what is the origin of the achievements.
Yes.
Something like that. I see. Now I could understand better. Thank you. But lots of symbolic meaning, behind this poem. Very good. So, how about, in the last stanza, the enlightenment lies beyond the horizon of what I perceive. Does it carry a similar meaning to the previous line, I think?
So this line, how I think about how we understand historical events, or how do we understand people's efforts and contributions, is that there is no way of knowing everything in the past. So this is actually a lesson that I learned in my history lesson. So basically, my lecturer said what the history that the public knows is diluted in a lot of ways. So for example, an event has to be happened, then it will have to be remembered or properly recorded. Then the record will have to survive to this very moment. And it also have to be found by the person who is looking for documents regarding the event. So, and then it will also, then after that, that is what the public can know about a lot of the things, unless they go investigate on the subject themselves. And it is, I think, for many historians or many professionals, it's a very difficult process and a very tedious process. So that would, and even through this difficult process, we don't know everything, and a lot of things is lost to the past. So yeah, that I think that would be the kind of idea I want to envelop in the horizon of what I perceive.
So it's difficult, right, for really us to know really the full picture of history. So that is something you want to convey, right, the message.
Yes.
I see. So then, like, how about actually the last line, in the last stanza? So he said, "To the grateful homage I salute, shall vibrate through the pale silk seal, will not reach a single spider." So will not reach a single spider here. So what does it mean here? Why it cannot actually? Why can't it actually reach a single spider?
Like I said before, I think a lot of the people have worked very hard to make those achievements, which forms the kind of life we enjoy right now. And a lot of the things we take for granted is actually through a lot of hard work. So for example, actually the most famous example of taking things for granted is, for example, you wouldn't, for example, you're walking inside a building, you wouldn't really consider whether the floor is solid or not, whether the building is going to collapse or not, right? You would not worry about that, because we have a lot of regulations and we take caution into a lot of the construction that we have. And it is because of these regulations and the people actually following it, then we were accustomed to our safe environment, to the point where we won't even doubt that our environment is safe, because we're too getting used to the environment we have now. But it's based on a lot of the things and a lot of the achievements that people have achieved in the past. So, and especially when you try to, even if you're grateful to the people who contributed to what we have now, not all of the times you can deliver that sort of gratitude to an individual level. So for example, for example, for Apple products, yes, we are very grateful for Steve Jobs to spark this idea of Apple products so that we can enjoy the kinds of gadgets and technology we have now. And also we would be grateful to the company or the corporate of Apple to make
These
the products that
achievement,
that we have now. But if we go into the next step, not many people would be too grateful or to even notice that these products are based on the efforts of a lot of programmers and a lot of the people who work to make these phones. For example, the workers in the factories, and the people who sell these products to us. We would usually when we say we are grateful for something, we are grateful for the corporate, the instigator, but seldom do we actually look into who actually provided these great things for us. So, for example, the vibrations would flow through the web. That yes, we would we would pay for our products, but the ways we give our gratefulness or express our gratefulness towards those people are usually only benefits the group as a whole, but seldom are we grateful for the individuals that are that have been working for us. So that is what I try to express in the last stanza.
Okay, so that's why homage, the respect here, just that to reach, to maybe a single spider. That's it. So spider here actually means the people working behind that contribute to that achievement, right?
It is. I think what I try to say here is, if we try to perceive the people who work for us not as a group, not as a corporate, but in the level of individuals, that is something that is very hard to do.
Yeah. Great, I see. Yeah, in reality, that's true. Yeah, usually, you're right. A very, very, a poem that actually carries a very deep meaning here and very symbolic as well. Very good. So I just want to ask you, what made you actually join this competition, Pharaoh?
To be bluntly honest, because I really need to graduate, so I really wanted the 4 hours. But when I was in the process of writing the poem, I was thinking, because usually I am the kind of person who writes prose, or like short novels, but not poems. So, but
it's a new challenge.
Yeah, so
you got the champion.
I've never thought I would win this, but what I thought when I wrote this is that, if you're gonna do something, well, at least it's something you're interested in. So, well, at least if I were to write a poem, I would be interested in writing it, and I wouldn't feel like this is a chore. So why not give my whole into making the poem? So but to be honest, I think my craft is very unrefined, and
No.
I tried my best to look for ways to make it look aesthetic. So because, for example, like in secondary schools, we used to have poems for like homework or tasks, right? And then we would be very laxed about it, and but I used to think poems were like making words sound very poem-y is what all poems are about. But now that I've read a lot more poems and try to investigate into how do poems make us feel like it's beautiful. So I've been investigating into how to make it beautiful, because I feel like many people think writing poetry is a very easy task. You basically write very simple proses and make it sound aesthetic. But the truth is, when you have to use very few words to articulate, especially for great poets, they use very few words to articulate very sophisticated ideas.
Yes, exactly.
And I think that is part of what
Very
makes
challenging.
art or poetry beautiful.
Yeah.
And which is why that is what I also try to do too. Although I would have to say that I'm not too familiar with meters or rhythm, but I did try to make it sound poetic, and I make it I tried my best to articulate my ideas with simpler words, but still it would sound poetic.
I personally like the symbolic meaning behind. Yeah, like it's very difficult, right? To really, like for us to really take care of the theme, the word choice, the diction. I mean, and also the literary devices. When writing a poem. So to me, I'm a person who focuses on the theme more. So, but yeah, it's really good. And yeah, good to know that you have a new challenge and you've got a champion in this challenge. Okay, but yeah, a very very good work. Thanks a lot for your sharing today, Farrell.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Thank you. So thank you. So I think that's it. Okay. For today's sharing. So we are actually having some more sharing later. So please actually stay tuned to our channel. Thank you. Bye.